Okay? So make sure that you are with me, because that's the first step of showing me that you care about what you're doing and about learning how to do it right. So if you've got a book or anything that's taking your attention away from your morning math, put it under your desk. 5, 4, 3, 2, book should be under your desk. And it won't come back on there. All right, looking this way and listening. Sitting up straight and tall. We got to make up some lost ground here, okay, guys? All right, so let's look. Sure. This problem, 329 times 174, it's a lot of what?
Work.
It's not that hard, but it's a lot of work. So if you're not doing it, it tells me one of two things. You don't know how to do it, or you don't want to do the work. One of two things. And I would like to help you if you don't know how. Okay? So, we're going to go through our steps with it. Students that have been here all year are pretty much solid with it. It's my virtual people that have come in, but that's what I'm here for, is to help you get it. All right, Kamaria, do you remember the first step? What is it?
I got to multiply the 4 times 9, the 4 times the 2, the 4 times the 3.
That's right. I got to do the 4 times the 9, the 4 times the 2, and the 4 times the 3. Right, Zay? That's what I've got to do first. All right. So, what is 4 times 9, y'all? I put my 6. I carry my 3 to the next number. 4 times 2. Plus 3. I add what I carry. 11. Put my 1. Carry my 1. 4 times 3.
12.
Plus 1.
13.
All right. Do you have all that I've already written down, Justin? And you've got this. It looks just like this, right? You sure? You sure? No, yours doesn't say what mine says. Yours says 476. You're going to need more room than that. All right, after I multiply that first digit, I got to do some housekeeping, right? Who can remember what my housekeeping is? Tell me one thing to do, Jacory. Put my what? Because this 7 is not in the ones place, it's in the what?
10.
And how many zeros are on 10? 1. Okay, next, super important. What am I going to do, Ava? I hadn't done it yet. I was asking what's next to do. X out the number that I multiplied. What did I just multiply? 4. Are you Xing this out and putting these zeros just like I'm doing, Justin? Okay. And one more piece of housekeeping, Gabby. Erase what I carry. If I carried any numbers up here, I got to erase them and get them gone. So now I know that I've done the 4 times the 9, the 4 times the 2, and the 4 times the 3. What's my next step? The arrows. You remember? Seven times 9, 7 times 2, and 7 times 3. Raise your hand if you can tell me that partial product that you got right here, Elijah. 23,030, I think is what you got. 23,030. Does it look like that? Okay. 23,030 is correct. You need to have that number down just like that. Okay? Now, housekeeping. So what am I going to do? Mark out the 7, erase anything that I carried, and most importantly, come on, put 2 zeros. Why? Because this 1 is in the what? 100, and how many zeros are on 100? 2. All right, so now, what's left to do? Do you remember what's left to do now, Zay? Not adding anything yet. Multiply. Yep, and 1 times 9 is 9. 1 times 2 is 2. And 1 times 3 is 3. Now what do I do with these 3 partial products? What do I do, John Crease? Add them up. Y'all check my math. Y'all know I'll make a mistake. I got to be careful because I'll go so fast. 57,246. Am I right?
Yes.
Great. That's my final product, which is my answer when I what? Guys, you will have a question like this on your test when? Friday. Yes, sir. Good job. You do have those. You're doing real good with those. All right, so let's look at number 2. All right, guys, we're going to do this standard algorithm, okay? Long division way. Knowing that the divisor is always where? On the outside. I read this problem how? Who knows how I read that problem? Give it a try for me, Achilles. 460 divided by 23. All right, let me ask y'all this. Do you know your basic 23 facts?
Yes.
You do? Okay, 23 times 7.
Oh, I know.
It's going to take you a minute, though. It's not automatic. But it's not automatic. So, we don't know our basic 23 facts, do we? But we probably, or we do know, what's 23 close to? What multiple? 20. So I could think in my mind first, can 20 go into 4? No, because 20 times 1 is what? 20, that's too much. Could 20 go into 46? Ooh, how many times could 20 or 23 go into 46? 2. So let's try. Let's do 23 times 2, and let's see what it is. Are you writing that down, Justin? All right, what is 23 times 2, y'all? 46. So, 23 can go into 46 how many times? 2. Where does that 2 go? No. It's not going into 460. It's going into what? Above the 6, because it's going into what? 46, right? So, 2 23s, and what is 2 times 23?
46.
Write it underneath 46. And then what? Subtract. And then I've got to bring down this 0. See how I drew that arrow? Justin, are you sure you're getting everything I'm getting? Getting up early and coming back's hard after you've been out for a while, isn't it, bud? I know. Okay, now let me ask you this. How many times does 23 go into 0? 0. So I need to put my 0 right there. And what is 0 times 23? 0. And when I subtract it out, what if I had just put 2? What is 2 groups? And if I had just put 2, I would have to multiply 2 times 23 to check it, right? And 2 times 23 is what? It's not 2 groups of 23. It's 20 groups of 23. Okay? 20. All right, let's look at number 3. All right, guys, the most important part of this is that I line up the what? The decimals, okay? What's the whole number on the first add-in that I'm adding? What's the whole number, a miracle? 67. What's the whole number on the second add-in that I'm adding, Achilles? 4. Guys, if you're going to add 67 plus 4, how are you going to line it up? Where's the 4 going to go? Under the 7. So it's going to look like this. Am I right? Okay, because, and what do you notice in this problem? What's after the 67? A decimal. What's after the 4? A decimal. Okay? And then 67 has 32 hundredths, and 4 has 98. It's got to be lined up. It has to be lined up. So I'm just thinking about my whole numbers. If I add 67 and 4, my answer is going to be 70-something, isn't it?
Yeah.
70-something. So if your answer isn't 70-something and something with a decimal, then your answer is what? Wrong, okay? All right, what'd you get for it, Kamaria?
71 and 71 and 2.
Are you sure? 8 plus 2 is 10. Carry that. And 1, 3, and 9 is not a 2.
That's a
30. What about 71 and 30 hundredths?
No.
That should be 72, Doctor.
That's correct.
So 72.
She didn't do that, so it's 70 what?
2.
72
Doctor.
and 30 hundredths. Okay, let me ask you something. What if somebody said 72 and 3/10 and they didn't put that 0?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. All right, let's look at number 4. why are these problems on multiplying and dividing? Why can I do them in my head? Why are they easy? No, I'm moving a decimal because I'm just multiplying or dividing times multiples of what? 10, right? Times multiples of 10. So, Kaylee, I want you to look. Everybody looking. I take 45 and 2/10. If I'm multiplying it, which way do I move the decimal, guys? That way. So, how many times am I going to move the decimal? Okay, I want you to watch. Okay, where's the decimal? Right here. I got to move it. Okay, what would the answer be if I moved it once? 452. That's only once. I got to move it 2, 3. What goes right there? Zeros. So my answer is 4,200. 45,200. Guys, on your paper, if you're not taking your pencil and moving your decimal, if you're not taking your pencil and actually moving it, you're not going to get it right. Okay? In this problem, how many times am I going to move the decimal? Twice. Which way am I going to move it if I divide? I'm going to make the number smaller. So, where is the decimal? What numbers is it between now? 5 and 1. So I'm going to move it 2 places. If I move it once, it becomes between the what? 4 and 5. If I move it again, it's between what? And so, what's the answer? 2 and 451 thousandths, because I moved it twice. And Justin, y'all saw this virtual. Y'all done this. Okay? So I do expect y'all, all the stuff y'all learned that first 9 weeks, we got to know, okay? All right. 167. Where is the decimal on all whole numbers? At the end. Look, guys. This is the number 167, Zay. All numbers that are whole have a decimal right there. Raise your hand if you're 10. Okay? Do you know that on your age that there is a decimal right there? And if you're 10 and a certain amount of months, that would be your decimal or your fraction. Okay, so let's look, guys. 167 divided by 10 to the first power. How many times am I moving it? And it changes to what, Elijah?
16.7.
16, which is 16 and 7/10. There you go. All right, let's look at number 5, guys. Looking at number 5. All right, it says donuts come in packs of 12. Guys, what do we call a group of 12?
A dozen.
A dozen. A group of 12 is a dozen. You know what a baker's dozen is? 13. A baker's dozen's 13 because they give you 12, and I guess the baker's being nice, so they throw in one more.
I thought it was the other way, and I thought it was 11.
No, it's 13. So, but a dozen is 12. All right, so what do we know? That we've got donuts that come in packs of 12. Luisa's buying how many packages?
15.
15. And in each of those 15 packages, there's what? 12 donuts. So I think about it, guys. Here's a pack, here's a pack, here's a pack. And how many packs does she have?
15.
And in each pack, how much is there? 12. So there is 12 donuts 15 times. So what am I going to need to do? I'm going to multiply 15 times 12. And I'm going to use the standard algorithm and get what for my final answer? Raise your hand. Tanaja. What? 160. Do y'all agree?
No.
Let's double check. Did you say 160? 260. All right, let's look. Let's look. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. Right? I multiplied the 2, put my 0. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 1 is 1. 180. 180 donuts. 180 donuts. I just didn't erase what I carried. 180.
I was about to say, I didn't get the same one from Marlo's.
Okay. Now, you probably did it the other way around.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Every one of y'all, listen to what I need you to do. All right. I need you, yes ma'am. A lot of donuts. We could do some damage, couldn't we? I need you to go through, and I need you to circle the equal sign on every one of these. circle the equal sign. 'Cause let me tell you what the equal sign shows. The equal sign is the middle. And it shows me that there are two sides. Okay? Two sides. All right, now, my equal sign, both sides of my equal sign have to be balanced. They have to be the same. So what I'm saying is, this is one side, this is another. What is this side of my equal sign? 15. So this side should also equal what?
15.
So what could I add to 15 so that it is equal?
Zero.
Okay, good. Okay, now, again, paying good attention. This side of my equal sign is 9 times 7, which is what? 63. This side of my equal sign also has to equal what?
7 times 9.
No, it has to
63,
equal
63.
63. And how could I get 63? 7 times 9. Okay, now, down here it gets a little trickier, so stay with me. Stay with me, Zay. All right, on this side, I've got to do a little work. Guys, I'm going to work the sides, start off working the sides that are complete. This side has a blank, so it's not complete, is it? This side has a blank. It's not complete. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to work this side. What would I work first? 3 plus 5, which is what? 8 plus 2. Okay, and I know that 2 plus 8 is what?
10.
Okay, good. So this side also has to equal what? 10. So I'm going to work what I can on this side. What is 2 plus 3?
5.
I put my equal sign, 5 plus.
5.
So I need to add something to 5. This side we said is how much? 10, because 2 plus 8 is 10. So I've got to add something to 5 so that this side is also 10. What would I add to that 5 to equal 10? Savion? 5. Perfect. But you got to do a little work, okay? Right here, I've got two sides. Looking this way, guys. I've got two sides on my equal sign. I've got this one, which is finished, and this one, which is not. I'm going to work the one that's finished first. I'm going to work what first? 9 plus 1, which is 10. And 10 times 7, which is, and I'm just going to write that 70 underneath it. If you don't have that work on your paper, you need to get it. You need to get it. So this side is 70, right? And I need this side also to equal what? 70. Okay, so let's look. 7 times 9 is what? 63. So I've got to add 63 to something that this parentheses would equal. So I'm thinking in my mind, I need this side to be what? Equivalent. So I need it to be what? 70. So I've got 63 plus. What can I add to 63 to get 70? 7. But right here, it's 7 times something. So I got to work that first. What can I multiply 7 by so that it is 7? 1. My answer is what? 1. Because 7 times 1 is going to be 7, which is going to equal 70. Right? Those are tough. Did you see that I've done a pretty good bit of work? And I've been doing this longer than you have. So if I've got to do a pretty good amount of work, so do you. Right? Okay. Let's look at number 7. Baby, you get to use this on your test. All right. How do I write 72 hundredths as a decimal? Tell me a miracle. Yeah. Guys, if this is 7/10, it's also what? 70 hundredths. If this is 8/10, it's also. If you don't have this is 70 and this is 80, you need to do that right now. You need to do it right now. Okay. Do we think that each tick mark is 1?
No.
No, we think it's worth 2?
No.
Or do we think each tick mark is 1? Let's try it. If it's 1, we would say 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, and does that work out for that to be 80? Okay, so are each one, well, one what? 100, really. 100. Okay, so if this is 70/100, what's this? 71/100,
72.
72/100. I just marked it.
Do I just mark it or I circled it? I circled it.
I would like for you to label it too, with 72/100s underneath it, just like I did. All right. Okay, guys. Expanded form in 5th grade is different than expanded form in 4th grade, isn't it? It's a lot different. I don't just write 400 plus 20 plus 8. What I'm actually doing, guys, I want you to look up here. What I'm actually doing is, I'm adding in between each place. Okay, so let me show you. What's the first digit? 4. 4 what? What place?
400.
So it's 4 times 100. 4 times, y'all remembering this now? 100. 4 times 100. Okay? And then I've got to add the next digit. So I'm going to put plus, and what's the next digit after the 4? 2. 2, and what place is it in? Times 10. Then I'm going to add the next digit. Plus 8, and what place is the 8 in? Times 1. Zay, you got all this? Okay, and then I'm going to add the next digit. 9 what? Tenths. So I'm going to say 9 times, and I could do it like this. 1/10 or 9 times decimal 1. Either way.
So, you just times and then plus?
You times it, you multiply it times the place. It's a 4 in the 100, so 4 times 100. A 2 in the 10, 2 times 10. 8 in the ones, 8 times 1. 9 is in the tenths because there's a decimal. So 9 times 1/10. Plus 6 in what place? Hundredths times 100, or 6 times decimal 0.1. You could do but either one of these. Plus, what's the next digit? 1 in what place? Times 1/1000, or plus 1 times decimal 0.001. Okay, this is not brand new. You did this when you were at home, virtual people, and you did this at school with me, the rest of them. It's not brand new. All right, any questions? Okay, keep that morning math out on your